Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Cutting Through the Bullshit. I am your host, Dr. Stephanie Snyder, and I am a high performance mentor. Through my unique blend of strategy, mindset, and intuition, I help men and women to cut through the BS in order to create the life and business they desire. So, today I'm just going to grab my notes off of my phone because I did write this down earlier. Okay, so this is going to be the gist of the podcast, of the YouTube. I'm going to give it to you right up front, and then we're going to dive into it a little bit more. And the truth is, we all enjoy the process. It's about who we're becoming along the way. So let me start to dig through this. So a couple weeks ago, we were out getting some new landscape for our backyard because we had the pool done and I wanted to get some plants in before cold winter, right? Relative term here in Virginia. I wanted to get some plants in the ground so that I had them for spring. And we were at one of the garden stores and I was watching this little couple, old couple, walk around the garden stores. And my immediate initial thought was, man, when I'm that old, I'm just going to pay someone else to do my landscaping. And then I thought to myself, maybe they actually enjoy this process of picking out the plants and deciding where they want to go and planting them. And so it caused me to begin to reflect on the process of it. Because I went and planted these plants only for my husband to then have me pull up the plants because he wanted to put down weed fabric, which, by the way, was annoying. But grateful that there's now weed fabric down. So I planted them all where I wanted to plant them, rolled down the weed fabric, and then we had some stones delivered. We decided that instead of the mulch around the pool, which could easily end up in the pool, we wanted to do some stones in the garden beds. And as I'm laying down these stones, I reflected again on this idea of the process, right? As much as you and I would love to Amazon Prime everything, right? Give me the dream job, the dream house, the dream spouse, the whatever, right? There was that movie years ago with Adam Sandler, I think it was called Click, where he had a remote and he was able to fast forward and rewind and pause and skip all these different parts of his life, right? And what he realized at the end was he actually missed out on a bunch of things because he was just, let's skip to the next part. Let's skip to the good part, right? There was that trend a few years ago on social media where it was this video of like someone beginning to bake a cake and then they're like, let's skip to the good part. And then the next thing shows this beautiful cake, right? That would get annoying. Because let's face it, if you knew that you were going to be an expert at anything that you tried the first time you tried it, you'd stop trying new things. Period. End of story. I could end the podcast right there, right? Really, if you think about it, if you excelled at the thing the very first time you did the thing, you'd stop trying new things because there'd be no mystery to it. There'd be no unknown to it because you knew that if you wanted to be a tightrope walker, you could tightrope walk across the Grand Canyon the first time, and it wouldn't develop anything inside of you. You would just be an expert tightrope walker, right? Or if you knew that you could bake a 5-star Michelin meal the first time, you'd probably only do it once. Because you wouldn't really care to do it again because you already knew how to do it. You mastered it the first time. Do you see what I'm getting at here? So as much as you and I would love to skip to the good part and just get the thing, just Amazon Prime, the multi-dollar business, Amazon Prime, the 6-pack, Amazon Prime, the incredible triceps, right? Let's just Amazon Prime the fact that you can run a 4-minute mile, right? Like, can we just Amazon Prime all of that? Sure, if we could, but then what would the point be? you'd eventually stop getting out of bed because it wouldn't be worth it anymore. There would be no unknown to it. And you would just excel at all the things right from the start, and then that would be it. So there is joy in the process. There is excitement in the becoming. There is frustration, and there's sadness, and there's annoyance, and there's joy, and there's peace, and there's happiness, and there's, I want to quitness, right? You have a full range of human emotion during that process, but it's during that process that you actually learn more about yourself. And isn't that really the point anyways? Isn't enjoying the process the point anyways? Because again, I will tell you that if you could Amazon Prime everything, right? For instance, I decided that I wanted to start painting. Those of you watching the YouTube, you can see behind me, I have a canvas. Full disclosure, it is a paint by number canvas. Because one, I'm not a great painter, but I wanted to paint something pretty. I wanted to paint something, and so I saw this paint by number come across some Facebook ad probably, and I thought, you know what? That gives me the option to paint something that is actually a legitimate picture, and it will look good, and I will have painted it. And I can tell people it's a paint by number if I want to. I can tell them that I painted it. And just think, oh my gosh, Stephanie, you're such a great painter. Thanks. It's a paint by number, right? I then, in hindsight, realized I should have gotten pictures because you can customize them. You can like send these people your own picture that you took, and then they turn it into a paint by number. I think that's going to be my next route because, quite frankly, I don't know where I'm going to hang this one. It has no significance to me whatsoever. It's just a painting of a road in Italy, and I've got actual paintings of roads in Italy. But nevertheless, right? If I was this incredible painter right from the start, probably only paint one thing and be like, done, right? You'd have one-hit wonders all over the world. But the truth is, those one-hit wonders had a whole lot of failures before the one hit. And it was part of that process that they enjoyed. There is no one alive today who was the best of the best of the best the very first time they did the thing. None. All right, well, maybe if you had one of those, what is it, savant disease or something, where like if you get hit in the head, it then activates this other part of your brain where you can then become like, it was like a baseball movie when I was a kid. It was about this kid who broke his arm when he was young, and then all of a sudden he was this major league pitcher because now he could throw like 90-mile-an-hour, fastballs or something like that. There is an actual name for it, right? I think it's called savant disease, but I'm not entirely sure. So don't quote me on that. But that would be like the one exception to the rule where somebody has a brain injury of some sort and then all of a sudden they're fluent in another language, right? The possibility is there, but for you and I, unless we're going to walk around waiting to get hit on the head by something and hoping that it hits the right area, I think we're all safe to say that we're actually going to start to enjoy the process, right? The process of becoming you. Because the truth is, when we get here, we are us as little babies. We haven't been too much or too loud or too this or too that or not enough this or not enough that. We haven't gotten all of that in our first year of life. But then that starts to weigh us down. It's like it adds a brick on top of us. One of these, one of these, one of these. And then along the way we go, you know what? I don't want this brick anymore. I don't want that one anymore. I can put that bag down. I don't need that, right? But that's part of the process. And it's an enjoyable process. And I've shared this, again, I've shared this before, but and so I apologize to those who have heard it before, but when I was working on my PhD program, I had one of my dissertation members, Dr. Carr, he said to me, it is the process of becoming a doctor. That is what this is. The piece of paper doesn't make you a doctor. It is the process that makes you the doctor. It's the process that makes you the PhD student, the PhD holder, right? Like, it is the process that makes you that. It's not the piece of paper. It's not the six-pack abs. It is not the $1 million business. It is the process that makes you that. And when you can learn to enjoy the process with all of its spectrum of human emotions along the way, you become unstoppable. Because you're no longer concerned about how long it takes you to get there. Because you're going to get there. You know you're going to get there. Because I firmly believe that when you decide on something, it comes to fruition. But a lot of us are just sitting on the fence waiting to decide something. Waiting to see if we're good enough at it the first time. Instead of saying, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that thing. And I'm going to do that thing until I'm good at it. You learn a lot about yourself along the way. So, I am excited for all that will unfold in 2026, even just the end of 2025. There's a lot of like, I can't even identify what the name of the energy is, but I feel a lot shifting. A lot of things are just becoming clearer and shifting as we move into this new year. I don't know about all the stars alignment, none of that stuff. No idea. I'm not your person for that. But I can feel kind of the shifting energy here. So I'm excited about it. I'm ready for it. Process of becoming, right? So if you are interested in private coaching with me, I do have spots available. I said this a little bit on the last episode, but there are 3-month packages and annual packages. We're going to leave it at those two. So you can either do 3 months with me or you can do a year with me. The year is going to crack you wide the heck open. Your life will be unrecognizable from January to December of next year. We're going to go all the places because, yes, why not, right? For the 3-month, certainly, definitely going to have breakthroughs. That annual one is just, we get to talk about all the things and we get to move through it all and integrate it all and just crack you wide open. So I'm excited for that process. They are breakthrough programs. That's what I call them because I help you break through whatever it is that you're stuck on. We work with business, we work with life, because all of it stems from you anyways. And so by being able to have those conversations with you and shift your perspective, there is not one area of life that isn't touched. I mean, I'm just thinking of clients I've worked with in the past where, they've come to me for business, but their relationships with their partners have been healed in the process. And so everything gets touched. It's just kind of fun, right? So I am sending you a whole lot of love. If you are interested in any of those programs with me, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me on Instagram. Show notes have my handle there. You can head over to my website, shoot me an email. However you want to best contact me, go right ahead. There will be a cap at spots, but if you are interested, please reach out sooner rather than later, and I will talk to you all soon. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, be you, because the world needs more of you. Bye.